Hello, witches! It is Wednesday. Time for a coven meeting. Not just any coven. Heck, no. It is time for the Witches Movie Coven. So grab your goat, grab a drink, grab some holiday spirit, perhaps, because we've got the Witches Movie Coven. I am Patty Nager. You may recognize me from television or from my books or from my podcast, and you may not, and that's okay too. But let me pass this on to some of my co-workers and my co-hosts and my fellow coven members. Let's go start with the beautiful Heather Green this week.
Hi, I am Heather Green, and I am not my usual location in Atlanta. I am up in Minnesota at the mothership of Llewellyn, which is I am an editor at Llewellyn Worldwide, working with wonderful witchcraft authors like some of the ones that are here, including Patty and Jason. And I am here. I'll show you my T-shirt. Isn't it exciting? Llewellyn. A shout out to my coworkers at Llewellyn. And I'm getting to work here for the week, so I am in a wonderful hotel. I am the author of Lights, Camera, Witchcraft, which just popped up a minute ago. And I am a journalist covering all things occult in the mainstream media. And I'm happy to be here with my coven tonight.
Yay, thank you. Jason.
I am Jason Mankey. I am one of those Llewellyn authors. I'm the author of 10 different books. This is my 4th book, Transformative Witchcraft. One day I will grow enough arms to hold them all for your amusement and gratification.
Thank you very, very much. Richard Lael.
I am Richard Lael. Richard Lael is one name, not two. If I were just Richard, I'd be a... That's right. I am well known in the paranormal world. I'm a psychic medium. I used to be a psychic small, but I gained some weight. You may have seen me in a plethora of things, whether it be television or whether it be University Magicus or whether it be haunting local places. I do that too. I'm really easy to find. I forgot. I forgot to mention, those of you who are reading this far, we've gotten this far, hit the like, hit the subscribe, go to Mystery Control. You can wear our faces. You can sleep with me. Also, leave the comments over here, wherever they may be. We do read them. Leave the comments. It does help the algorithms. That helps us continue to provide you great entertainment. So like, subscribe, follow, and comment.
Thank you, Richard Lael. And back, we've missed you quite a bit lately. The beautiful and amazing and strong and powerful Courtney Buckley.
That's me, Courtney Buckley, Ghost Bait on Scared and Alone. I've missed you guys as well. Glad to be here this week, and I'm excited to get into it tonight. So I'm ready.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this week's movie is A Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993. And hopefully you guys all watched it. Hopefully you stayed awake for it. And just in case you didn't watch it or stay awake for it, Heather, there's something flying by your head, Heather. What is that? I don't know.
I just don't know how that comment even came out of your mouth. Like, how could anyone not stay awake for this? But that's okay. We'll get into that later.
Patty fell asleep or something on a rewatch. That's what it feels like to me. Patty fell asleep on a rewatch.
I think that's probably what that was.
So just in case somebody accidentally falls asleep after being up till 5:30 every morning, Richard Lael, save me. Can you give us a full synopsis of this fine film that no one slept through?
I can indeed give an unbiased synopsis of this film. 1993. Funny thing is that it is not Tim Burton like everyone thinks. He was actually the producer. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, I digress. Nightmare Before Christmas is originally, it was a stop motion animated film, which I find it to be better in the original before they remastered it and cut out all the wires and the things that made it kind of spectacular. That's an opinion that we'll get into later on. So The Nightmare Before Xmas, I like to say, is a story about a little town called Halloween Town, in which it is Halloween, and that is their big festival. And Jack, their sort of mascot, their hero, has done this so many years that he has gotten rather bored with screams, with despair, and with death. And so he wanders away and finds himself in a forest of trees. Of course, that's what forests are usually made out of, forests of trees. And he finds himself then in a center where there are the major holidays: Thanksgiving, Xmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, whatever. And he's intrigued by the door with the Christmas tree on it. So he turns the ball, he turns the knob, and he falls into the world of Christmas. And he is immediately immersed in the magic of the season, the snow, the joy, the laughter, and decides that that is going to be what Halloween is. So he takes this back, decides that he and his crew are going to give Sandy Claus a break, and they're going to reinvent Xmas so that it can be celebrated in Halloween Town. Meanwhile, his girlfriend Sally is a Frankenstein's doll. Her creator has half a brain. That he has. He eventually ends up by sharing that half a brain with another creation. Nonetheless, Sally is long suffering, and all she cares about is the joy of her Jack, even though he couldn't care less if she existed. And she does all of these things, and he wants to go riding around on a sleigh pretending to be some jolly old Saint Nick. Meanwhile, her visions, of course, have not been sugar plum fairies and sugar plums dancing in the head. No, it was a vision of disaster. So much to form, they have sent Santa Claus packing, and much to form, Christmas, when it is not celebrated the traditional way, does go down in disaster. And yet, at his lowest, Jack realizes that he has been wrong and that he should focus on Halloween. He has a new vigor, and he, of course, with his dog Zero and his girlfriend by his side, move forward to celebrate Halloween with more joy than ever. And that is it.
Thank you for that complete synopsis. Straight through. But just in case you missed something, maybe there's 5 things you missed. Heather, do you have some more information for us on this lovely?
Yeah. Let's just dive into a few fun things about this. I got to get my notes here. 1993 film, a fantasy, a musical, a stop action animation, not directed by Tim Burton, but written by Tim Burton. So of course it has his footprint on it. If you did not recognize it, you should. And so that's the basis of this. So it's 1993. It is really a landmark at that point in time. It stood out. So now I'm going to go on to Danny Elfman. I'm picking and choosing here because I love to bring up Danny Elfman. He is an amazing talent, the composer of the music here, as well as the singing voice of Jack Skellington. Danny Elfman, if to list his credits would take us the entire show. I'll list a few things that you might have known him to have composed the music for. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, one of my least favorite movies. Not that I'm going to give commentary. Yes, I am.
What?
Beetlejuice.
What?
You can turn out that light,
What?
Jason. I am not a Pee-wee's Big Adventure Pee-wee fan. Beetlejuice, Batman, Dick Tracy, Edward Scissorhands, Summersby, Good Will Hunting, Sleepy Hollow, Big Fish. Some of these we've actually talked about on here, and he composed music for all of these or was part of them in some capacity.
Oh, and you forgot Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which
I was a
version.
I got it on there, and he was the Oompa Loompa voice. And he did do that one. And I mean,
That movie's
Corpse
not real.
Bride. And let me just tell you, we're just not even going to get into the Wonka conversation tonight.
That
That's
is
going to
not
set a
real.
war.
That's
Jason
CGI.
will not. I
That
don't
is
know that we'll see
CGI
Jason.
nonsense. CGI nonsense.
Exactly. I agree with you, CGI nonsense. But he did do the voice for the CGI nonsense Oompa Loompas, Corpse Bride, and the new Beetlejuice. and just a host of other things. He's made appearances as well, not quite as many, but the amount of music he has written, composed, and been a part of in Hollywood and television is phenomenal. This man is a massive talent. So his music here makes sort of it recognizable. You can hear him very much in this movie. Number 3, cast. I just want to mention some voices. Ken Page, who plays Oogie Boogie. You might recognize, well, you may not recognize him actually. Ken Page, he died in 2024. And there he is. He's Oogie Boogie. And the two things that he's most known for is his performances in the original cast of Ain't Misbehaving and the original cast of Cats' Old Deuteronomy on Broadway. I saw both of those, so I'm really excited to know that I saw him. Not that I would have known at the point because it was a long time ago. He was also, unfortunately, in the film version of Cats, so we won't speak about that again.
Release the butthole cut.
Exactly. Catherine O'Hara plays Shock as well as Sally. If you do not know Catherine O'Hara, you just need to end it now, because she is probably one of my favorite actresses. Schitt's Creek, Beetlejuice, Home Alone, the Christopher Guest movies. I mean, she is absolutely one of the best actresses in Hollywood. We love her. Paul Rubens is Locke. Again, we're back to Pee Wee Herman. He died in 2023. Forever. He is, as I said, he's Locke. Chris Sarandon. He is Jack Skellington's speaking voice. Now, who is Chris Sarandon? You will know him as Prince Humperdinck from The Princess Bride. He was at some point married to Susan Sarandon. And another one you will know is Glenn Shadix, probably. He died in 2010. He was the mayor here. He was Otto in Beetlejuice. So you're going to see some of these actors and actresses kind of dance around a lot of the Tim Burton movies in and out. They're similar. This happens in Hollywood. So you're going to see a lot of that kind of repetition. There he is. That is the voice of Jack Skellington, not the singing voice. Now, the singing voice was, of course, there goes my brain. Yes.
Okay.
So now number 4, going from cast, we're going to talk about stop motion animation really quickly. So what is that? That's when things are posed. They take a picture, they pose it again, they take a picture. This type of animation has been going on since Hollywood began, as animation began becoming something of interest. And I think it was late 1800s where we first started seeing this capacity and something in entertainment. Some of the people you might have heard of in the past that are famous, Ray Harryhausen and George Pal. These are two of the big names in the stop motion animation a long time ago, mid-century. Ray Harryhausen did a lot of the monster stuff. George Pal, interestingly, did the very first Hollywood film animation short that actually had a witch with green skin after The Wizard of Oz. So that's his claim to fame in my book. You'll mention him. It's the first time another witch had green skin, and he kind of helped perpetuate that into the future. In this film, there were 227 puppets used, and that does not include the sheer hundreds of faces they had, because every time that is Ray Harryhausen right there with some of his monster puppets. And he does have that. We do have some witch films where he has done some stuff in, so maybe we'll see him at some point. But yes, so these are some of the anyway, back to that. So 227 puppets, and there were a lot of more of faces and pieces that they would have to change. And according to what I read, they would only be able to film about 70 seconds of film per week. 70 seconds of film per week, because of having to tweak and change to be able to get this to look real and movement. So it's fascinating, and it takes a lot of patience to do this kind of work. Number 5, what do we have here? What did I write down? Can I read it? Oh, this is the fun part. So as Richard Lale said, it's people make the mistake that this was actually directed by Tim Burton. It's not. It's from his mind. This was based on a poem he did which was a take on the nightmare, the Night Before Christmas. He wrote it as The Nightmare Before Christmas and then turned it in this. That is what became this movie, along with the help of another writer. Of course, Sally and the Love Story was not in the original poem, but that poem, that darker Tim Burton style poem, became this movie. And you can actually go online and search for it and read it. Twas The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I don't know it off the top of my head, but you can look it up. You can read it and see Tim Burton's original poem that was birthed into this film. And that's it for now. Now we need to talk about it.
Okay, who wants to go first? Dead air.
Goodness. Dead air is never
Nobody
good.
likes to go
Dead-
first. Nobody does.
I usually do, but
There's-
tonight I'm going to take a step back because
Go
I
ahead.
would like to hear others first before I have things to say.
And I just want to not talk about the movie yet, but I just want to say, I am winking at everybody here. I just had a stuck contact in my eye. I just got back from the hospital getting it yanked out. So I just like you a lot, and I'm winking at everybody here. So
I thought you were flirting with me. I'm so
I am.
hurt.
I'm flirting with all of you.
I thought it was Blonde's night, you know?
Yeah,
babe?
it is. We're looking at each other. So I apologize wholeheartedly. I just did want to explain it why one eye is completely closed. Okay. Richard,
Jason goes first.
Yeah, it's instruction in the chat.
oh,
I saw this movie in the theater when it came out on a date, probably right in the middle of November, which is when I think that you should watch this movie. So I've had an association with it since the very beginning. I think it's still a very stunning movie. I think that actually the puppetry in the movie has kept it fresh and relevant because it looks sort of like what CGI would later look like. And I think if this movie had been just a regular animated movie, it may not have had the resonance that it has today. I think it needed that look with the very real shadows that you can see in the background. And it is one of the most stunning things to this day that I have ever seen on film.
Okay, then I'll go.
Marty's holding back. Uh-oh.
Okay. I will say it is visually stunning. The music is really good. I kind of got into it way back in the 90s when I was an odd goth kid. As I grew, one would think that I would love this film. It has everything that I love. Claymation, animation, musical numbers, skeletons, witches, vampires, and a lot of Xmas, which I don't care for. However, the more that I got in, as I sort of more rationalized it as an adult, I'm not a fan of it. I actually dislike it intently. And it's mostly because where it is beautiful and where I hate Xmas, yes, bah humbug, that's not why I hate it. I actually despise it because Jack is so callous that he forgets about Sally. She's doing all of these things for him, and everyone says, "Oh, I want a relationship like Jack and Sally." No, the F you don't. No, you don't. He sort of poo-poos. She tries to tell him, "Oh, no, you don't know. You're just a woman. You don't know. Go sit back over there. I'm going to do this vision. Help me do this vision." And then he ends up by collapsing in his vision because it was a stupid idea. And then there she is to literally and metaphorically pick up the pieces. "Oh, now I see you." Well, okay, great. But I just think I dislike that relationship. And I also dislike the fact that it is so overly saturated. I don't do Disney. You know, I don't. I love the Muppets. I don't do Disney. But the one thing that I love about Disneyland or Disney World or Disney whatever is the Haunted Mansion. It is, I've never been. I've been to Disney World, Disneyland, whatever is in California. I went one time. It was just inside the park to the House of Blues. I have never been to Disney, whatever. But the Haunted Mansion was always my favorite. And now, it's more than that, almost 30 years now. 30 years later, as soon as it is October, it is The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's everywhere. And it becomes sort of this mantra where people think they're being edgy and they get tattoos of Jack Skellington, and it bores me. That's what I think.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if we're going to have some hexing going on or what. Courtney, your fingers up.
I'm ready to go now that Richard Lale broke the ice. This movie bores me to tears. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I liked it when I was a kid. I think, again, it's beautiful. The songs are great. I quote the "This is Halloween, everybody make it," literally constantly. Like, I sing it at least 3 times a week. However, I am exactly because it's so oversaturated. I'm so sick of it. And I think that the animation is great. I think that it is a feat of filmmaking, and I can appreciate it for that. But I literally could not even rewatch it to do this episode today. And I've seen it so many times, but I couldn't rewatch it because the thought of it bored me to tears. And you know what? I don't even think I put my finger on it. But when I was looking through quotes, Richard Lale, I think you're exactly right. And it's really that the relationship between Jack and Sally that everyone on planet Earth romanticizes as this great thing is horrifying. And I hate it. And she literally sings a song where she's talking about, like, why can't you see me? Oh, because I'm not the right one. And yet still literally falls apart for him. And it's like, why are we romanticizing this? It's beyond me. It's like Harley Quinn and the Joker. I can't do that either because it's like the same thing. Why do we romanticize that? So Richard Lale, thank you for being brave and breaking the ice.
You're welcome. I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah, controversial opinion, I know, and I'm sure, Jason, your light being off, I will deserve it, but
No, you're not going to get the light off for me. I don't love this movie as much as so many people love this movie. I like this movie. I think it's good to put on in the background while I'm doing something else. Sometimes I just listen to the soundtrack and I appreciate the pictures on the screen when I'm watching it. But there are people whose entire personality seems to be built around The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's not that great as a film. Story-wise, it has some issues. It's also, I love that you couldn't even watch it. It's got a super short runtime. It's like only barely 75 minutes, I think. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of story to it. That's for sure. And Jack and Sally are problematic. That's a toxic relationship.
Literally. And someone in the chat, Kristen said Marilyn Manson made a cover of This Is Halloween. I love that. I love the cover. But yeah, it's just like, it's too much. It's too much for me. I just don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It is one of those things that people make their full personality, and I would like my personality to be anti this movie. I can't even put it on and have it on in the background because it annoys me. I can listen to the soundtrack. I have it downloaded on my phone because I love the songs. And a couple of years ago when I was giving out candy on Halloween, I had it playing on a loop, like over speakers on my front porch while I gave out candy. And I will say Oogie Boogie, I love Oogie Boogie, but as a character, and that's it. And I don't love anything else. And I think everyone that's in it is so talented, and anyone that had a hand in it is so talented. I'm just sick of it. So there you go.
Okay, thank you. I will jump in the middle with this going, I rented it. I've of course seen it, but not in a long time. I actually have a Sally doll. I was sitting here going, oh, where is my Sally? I'm looking at all my Barbies. I have a Sally doll, but I've been up very, very late, so I really can't. I rented it. I paid my $4 2 nights ago. I turned it on. I watched the beginning, going, "Oh yeah, I know this film," and then I woke up, and how when you went with Amazon, it was The Grinch, and I watched about a half hour of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, going, "This is not how I remember. Where is that skinny skeleton? Wait," and I totally watched The Grinch movie, but at least
Well,
watched while I wasn't looking.
you want to talk about a toxic relationship? I love The Grinch. I'm in a toxic
The Grinch
relationship
too.
with The Grinch because that's
Yeah,
my favorite.
that I was awake for that one.
Yeah, as you should be, because everyone should be. All versions of it.
Holiday Who Bear Water. I hate you. Hate, lose
entirely. Oh, I go through with myself. I can't cancel that again.
Which Grinch? The live Grinch or the cartoon Grinch?
I mean, any version, but the Jim
Any-
Carrey one is the
The
my
Jim
favorite.
Carrey. I woke up to Jim Carrey going, "This is not what I remember, but it's late and I've been up till 5:30 every morning." I said, so but I'll watch it going, I really don't remember. But yeah, he was great. Jim Carrey kept me awake.
Jason, is your light offered the Jim Carrey Grinch?
Yes,
Great.
it is overlong. It is not nearly as good as the original, which is a classic. There's just too much. The only scene I even like there is with the baby Grinch in the movie. That is the only fun scene in the whole film. But I still love you. But I still
Well, first of
truly
all, I'm
love
going to
you.
say the baby Grinch obviously is great. However, compliments earlier in the chat are not saving you from being hexed for that. So nice try. Good work. Trying to butter me up.
He
Not
tried.
working.
He tried.
Yeah.
completely fair.
I saw
completely
right.
fair.
I knew exactly what you were doing. I saw right through it.
Yep.
Doesn't work.
Wink, 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 wink. Moving on to Heather. Save
Well,
us.
you know what? I totally get what everybody says. It does get played over and over again, and Disney loves to do that to us. That's one of their features, is overdoing everything that they own, their properties. So I totally get that. This movie. I loved it when it came out. I still love it. I love everything about it. I love the music. I love the story. I do think it has a good story. It's a small story, but I do think it has some interesting, it has enough to get me involved. I do think we do have, when this time it comes, as soon as Halloween's over, it becomes Nightmare Before Christmas season. So at some point it's going to be watched in some capacity. I don't aim to watch it religiously, like we have to sit down and as a family watch it. There's very few movies that our family does, but one of my children, my youngest, loves this movie, loves everything about it. Has Jack Skellington and Sally stuff all over their room. It's just their part. So it kind of is also connected to my child, and that watching them grow and loving all the things. And I think this kind of movie inspires them in some ways. And definitely is part of their personality, at least now as they're growing. So I have a fond relationship with this movie. I think I love Danny Elfman's music. So I love the music. I love the artistry and the imagination of it. The idea that there's holiday worlds and they can interact, and Jack Skellington going to Christmas. I love when he winds up in Christmas land and does the "What Is This" song. I mean, I just think that's so fun, and all the pieces. I think it's very imaginative. Is it part of my personality? Am I, running around and wanting to be Jack Skellington or Sally or any of these things? No. But this is definitely one of my holiday films. It's really one of the few holiday films that really exists comfortably between this liminal time between Halloween and the full start of the Yuletide
Not Jason's
season.
start of Yuletide.
Yeah, it's how many movies are sort of that in between? Because someone
This
just
is
said
it.
they're paralyzed. Is it a Christmas movie or Halloween? But it's an in between movie. It's both, and so it kind of exists in this liminal space. And so we kind of use this as the bridge between this and Thanksgiving, and sort of launching us into it. But again, we don't watch it regularly. Although, if I hear This Is Halloween, which happened probably a week ago, it just happened to come on. And I was transfixed and started singing, and Ben was horrified. My partner was horrified. He thought I had gone crazy, and I'm like, just let me be. But again, that happens with any musical that I love. So truthfully. So that's my feeling about it.
I do love the music. I agree with that. Everything that everybody said about the animation and the beautiful and I do love This Is Halloween. I do sing that. It's the only one I know.
Yeah.
But all right. Where do we go now? This is like the shortest movie we've ever talked about. No. We have maybe we have a
Oh,
The best
maybe we
Willy
talk
Wonka.
about Willy Wonka and other forms of or other Tim Burton
yeah,
movies.
we can, but let's get to quotes first. Courtney,
Oh,
do you have
God.
any quotes?
Unfortunately, please hold while I pull them up.
It's not that bad, Courtney.
No, what's bad? Richard Lyle. What's bad about it is that I did not rewatch it, so I feel like I can't deliver the quotes the way that they were meant to be delivered. Full disclosure, I did my homework halfway. I cheated and I looked on IMDb and I pulled quotes from there instead of from the actual film like I normally do. Again, because I could not bear it. So I can't deliver them because I don't remember how they were delivered. So I just picked the funny ones. Anyway, so there's one where the policemen answer the phone and say, "Hello, police." And there's a woman screaming hysterically, and he says, "Attacked by Christmas toys? That's strange. That's the second toy complaint we've had." And then someone in the chat mentioned the Kidnap the Santa Claus song. So a line from that: "Kidnap the Santa Claus, beat him with a stick, lock him up for 90 years, and see what makes him tick." I thought was funny. Also, the whole Sandy Claus thing is cute. But Sandy Claus in person, Jack says, "What a pleasure to meet you." And then he goes to shake his hand and says, "What? Why, you have hands. You don't have claws at all." Let's see. Oh, Jack is handing out presents. And he gives the kid, he says, "That's all right. I have a present for you anyway. There you go, Sonny. Ho, ho, ho. Hee, hee, hee." And the mother says, "What did Santa bring you, honey?" And he has a shrunken head and everybody screams. And then he flies away and says, "Merry Christmas." The saxophone player saying, "Nice work, Bone Daddy." I want that on a t-shirt. Jack Skellington, he's saying "What is this? What is this? What is this? There's color everywhere." And I literally, like, I also sing that one, or I like mime it, like when something happens. "What is this? What's this?" Jack's talking to Santa, says, "Forgive me, Mr. Claus. I'm afraid I've made a terrible mess of your holiday." Santa says, "Bumpy sleigh ride, Jack. Next time you get the urge to take over someone else's holiday, I'd listen to her," and points at Sally. "She's the only one who makes any sense around this insane asylum." Skeletons, boogeymen. Jack says, "I hope there's still time." And Santa says, "To fix Christmas? Of course there is. I'm Santa Claus." And then flies out the chimney. Jack from one of the songs, "There's children throwing snowballs instead of throwing heads. They're busy building toys and absolutely no one's dead." Santa says, "Have you heard of peace on earth and goodwill towards men?" And Lock, Shock, and Barrel say no. The mayor says, "Jack, please, I'm only an elected official here. I can't make decisions by myself," which I thought was topical and exciting. And then the one quote that I did feel like struck a chord, and I'll explain it in a second if I can, is Jack singing, "Just because I cannot see it doesn't mean I can't believe it." And as difficult as it is for me to let go of the Halloween season and enter into the Yuletide season, I did as a kid love Santa Claus, like intensely. I was getting into fights at school when I was older than I probably should have been about whether or not Santa was real. And I believed in him so wholeheartedly that I carried that into my adulthood. And I had to take a public speaking class in college. And our final essay, or our final project, our final speech was about, we had to do like a persuasive speech and convince convince the audience of something. And I chose for mine why Santa is real. And when I tell you I've never worked on something so hard in my life, I dressed up like Santa. I had made these packets with like Santa coloring books and Santa facts. I had Santa statistics from mall Santas about their favorite cookies and their favorite Christmas carols and everything that you could think of. I had every origin of every Santa-like figure from all of the cultures all around the world. And I did a dramatic reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas to start it all off. And at the end, I pointed it back that with all of these, legends and stories and whatever, Santa is real because Santa is that spirit inside us all that gives for just the sake of giving. Who, you don't do it to get something back. You do it just to see joy on someone's face or to make them happy. And that spirit of giving is not just at Christmas time, it's all year long. So Santa, we're kids and we understand that joy, and then we grow up and then, we become part of giving it and teaching the next generation how to give it. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. And that's why I still, to this day, love Santa. So also why Don't Hurt Santa, Jack Skellington, and I hate this movie.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a different holiday movie.
That's
and
not Santa.
That is not Santa. He gives it a different way.
That is Clayton. He has boots, and we love him for different reasons.
Yeah.
Very
But it was probably left there by Jack Skellington,
That
right? Maybe some crossover between.
That's
those things.
I was just gonna say that's the crossover that I refuse to fund because I don't want to see that one.
No, we're working on a musical.
What?
Courtney, we're working on a musical. Let's
Right.
leave that out. Okay.
That's it. We don't need anything else except for maybe Bambi the Reckoning and the Killing Tree. That
I
one.
thought of another film that sort of puts you in that in-between stage, Heather, that does deal with magic. And everyone who knows me is going to roll their eyes. It's The Addams Family and The Addams Family Values. Because they take place in the Addams Family. The opening scene is with them pouring boiling oil on the carolers, or boiling tar on the carolers, which is Charles Addams, and then they celebrate Halloween at the end, and then they celebrate, I guess Halloween at the end. So there's that one. It's like one whole year later, and then in the Addams Family Values, they celebrate Halloween, Thanksgiving. Yeah. Anyway, those two films right there in the middle. Neither Christmas nor Thanksgiving nor Halloween.
There's also a Grinch Halloween movie.
Yes, there was a Grinch Halloween book. There's a Dr. Seuss book.
And it's great, and I love it. So
There's
that's
also there's an old 1960s TV special, I believe, called The Magic Christmas Tree. And it was before my time, so I don't remember it all too much. I did watch it for the book. I watched it, but I don't remember it as a kid. But there was a bunch of kids disturb a witch or an old woman who turned out to be a witch. And it's done like The Wizard of Oz, where it's black and white, and they disturb her. And then somehow, I don't remember what happens, but somehow it goes to color, and there's a Christmas tree, and it's magic, and the magic Christmas tree, and a witch and an old woman. And I don't remember the whole plot, but that's an in-between witch Christmas thing going on there. And it's done in the vein of The Wizard of Oz with the black and white and the color. So that's another one that kind of lives in between. But I was going to say, Richard Lale, you're like, you and I have a similar thing. To you, everything's Addams Family, and there's always Addams Family. For me, everything is a musical. I can always find a musical and everything. So I get it. I totally get it.
And for me, everything is The Killing Tree, as we already know. Oh, yes. Thanksgiving. Oh, my God. Let's talk about that for a second. I hate everything that has to do with Thanksgiving except for that movie. And Nathan and I have our tradition where we do not celebrate Thanksgiving. Instead, we go to the movies. And the year that came out, it came out for Thanksgiving, obviously, but that was the first year that he started watching horror movies. So that was the best Thanksgiving I think we've ever had. It was so great. And then there's another one, Founders Day or something like that. That's similar.
Before we move on from the movie we're supposed to be talking about tonight, I find this movie really fascinating because witches love it so much. And if you go to a witch conference or a witch festival, you're going to see people with Sally and Jack Skellington tattoos. They're going to have the Nightmare Before Christmas purse. This is a movie that really resonates among witches, especially. And I think that's something that's worth discussing a little bit. Also, I will say some of it, I think, is because Samhain is most people's favorite holiday amongst witches.
Right.
And there's just not a lot of Halloween material, as we've discussed on the show before. And all of a sudden, now you have like the This Is Halloween song, which is one of the few Halloween carols that we might get to. Also, Halloween is faceless in a way that something like Christmas with Santa Claus and Easter with the Easter Bunny is not. There is not like a figure for Halloween. And I would say that Jack Skellington has become this figure for Halloween in the broader, greater culture. I think a lot about this film because I see so many references to it in our community.
I'm old enough to remember when the devil was the mascot for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
In
Satanic
certain communities.
I mean,
Well,
you know, good old days.
And Jack Skellington is he wasn't invented out of the blue. I mean, obviously he's a Skellington, but he's the Pumpkin King. And that comes from a long line of witchcraft associated with a pumpkin that is born out of a pumpkin patch. And I'm not just talking about Charlie Brown. I'm talking about Hawthorne's original Feathertop show, a story that came out of, and he was from Salem and all of that. And that has perpetuated throughout Hollywood and throughout our lore, this idea of the witch raising a pumpkin, of course, leading to, I get to mention it, Pumpkinhead, my favorite horror movie. Sorry, it's not The Killing Tree. And all of these stories of the Pumpkin King, this pumpkin figure that is coming out of the pumpkin patch associated with Halloween. And like Jason said, this one gives us a more childlike, acceptable, and fun version of that figure and that archetype. So yeah, I think that's right, Jason. I agree with you.
I agree. Do we
Also, I have another question. This isn't even the making
What
movie
is that?
moment.
What is that?
That's a turkey. That's a very frightening turkey.
And it's a house.
Is there a witch in that?
Does there need to be?
I
Can
don't
we
know.
cover that for Thanksgiving?
Oh, there's the
Ooh.
Magic Christmas tree. That is from the Magic Christmas tree. What's your question, Jason?
So I was watching the end of the movie just right before the show with Ari, and Jack's delivering the presents. And one thing that doesn't make sense to me, everybody's horrified by Jack's gifts, but there is a group of goth kids who just had the greatest Christmas of their life, and it's not discussed at all in the film, and that just brings me a little sadness, right?
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to get a shrunken head for Christmas. I'm not gonna lie. So
Right?
yeah.
I don't even like Xmas, but I would love if someone gave me severed heads or limbs. I mean, I have to go out and harvest them myself.
ethically,
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
so nice when it's gifted. All right. Jason, do we have a Mankey movie moment? Perhaps?
Yes. I gotta. This is a tough one.
Prepare.
Too.
We got to prepare.
You
We got
say
to
that before everyone, and they're always so good. So they're all tough.
Oh,
They're always so good, Jason.
I have to sing this one though, so this is tough.
Oh,
Cosplay pilgrims, come on down. Let's all visit Plymouth Town. Now's a time for living as we celebrate Thanksgiving. This is Turkey Day. This is Turkey Day. The birds scream before they bleed to death. This is Turkey Day. Eat all your cares away. Pretend to like your family with every breath. Slosh on that gravy. Don't be lazy. Sit next to grandma. Go stir crazy. I am the cranberry sauce you will not eat. Help yourself to even more meat. I am the whipped cream and pumpkin pie. One more plate and you'll probably die. This is Turkey Day. This is Turkey Day. Turkey Day, Turkey Day, Turkey Day, Turkey Day. Look over there. It's weird Uncle Steve. I wish he would just leave. And over here, my bratty little cousins crying loud. They make noise for dozens. Everybody pray. Everybody pray on this exhausting turkey day. Sweet potato pie from your old Aunt Cat. She's really gross. I wouldn't eat that. The Macy's parade is on the TV. I don't care. Just leave me be. Weird Uncle Steve wants to sit by me. I think it's time for me to flee. This is Turkey Day. This is Turkey Day. Turkey Day. Turkey Day. Turkey Day. Turkey Day. And that is a bit of a cut scene from The Nightmare Before Christmas. In the original script, Jack Skellington was going to visit all of the other holiday towns before ending up at Christmas Town. But producers thought better of that plan. St. Patrick's Day Town was too drunken and demeaning to the Irish to include in the movie. Valentine's Day, way too sexy. But they did do a lot of work for Thanksgiving Town and a holiday they called Turkey Day because it was far easier to rhyme. Let me set the scene for you. At the center of Thanksgiving Town, there are old colonial buildings that gradually turn into cozy, large Midwestern homes. Some of the porches have rotting jack-o'-lanterns on them. Others have varying amounts of Christmas lights. One house out of every 30 has a turkey decoration in the yard. As the villagers, all dressed like pilgrims with giant buckles on their belts and shoes, play and sing, the camera pans to a long conveyor belt with a never-ending line of turkeys on it. The camera follows the belt to a warehouse where the turkeys have their heads chopped off by a giant spinning saw and their feathers plucked by fanciful robotic hands. The conveyor belt then takes the turkeys through a cold room where they are instantly frozen before showing them getting wrapped in plastic. The camera swoops through town, this time going down a side alley and another processing plant. A machine belches cranberry sauce into aluminum cans before another machine seals them up. Cut to a family getting ready to eat dinner. Cartoony waves come off the grandmother figure, indicating her odor is unpleasant. Weird Uncle Steve has an inappropriate mustache that makes you think he is on a list, and he is wearing a One American News Network t-shirt. Fox News isn't conservative enough. And he can be seen mouthing something about owning the libs. Two children are running wild through the house, tears streaming from their eyes, indicating aggressive and unneeded crying. On the TV, there's footage of a parade with someone lip-syncing on a slow-moving float, sponsored by the fine folks at Facebook. And we can see Aunt Cat setting down some sort of unrecognizable, grotesque casserole dish. A cat jumps up on the table, sniffs the casserole, and shakes its head no as a warning. The camera swoops out of the house past some people playing football and comes to rest on a giant turkey. This is Tom Turkey, the cannibal king of Thanksgiving, and he is gnawing on a turkey leg dipped in gravy. He smiles approvingly at his bustling town. Cut to Jack Skellington with a horrified and nauseating look on his face. Not surprising, all of this was just too intense for children and was all cut out by Disney. But for those who have been lucky enough to get a rare look inside the Disney vaults, Thanksgiving Town lives on, and I'm so thrilled I was able to share it with all of you tonight for the Witches Movie Coven.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Took me forever to write that stupid song.
That's brilliant.
Like, can I turn my light up brighter?
Aw.
Because, come on. Okay, that might have been your best one yet.
That was good.
That was
Thanks.
good. The
I would
song-
watch that one. I would watch that Thanksgiving movie over The Nightmare Before Christmas every year. I would watch just that scene. That's amazing.
Thanksgiving Town would be grotesque, though. It really would be.
It really
love
would be. Let's
Whoop, whoop.
All right.
The turkey
Well,
heads.
we have gone through this entire film, the highs, the lows. So now our wands, the highs, the lows. We
Oh.
will, everybody. If I wish I knew where my Sally doll was. Oh, where is she? Oh. Planning and foresight is not my strong point. Okay. I don't even know. Okay.
Patty,
It's clear.
you love everything.
You too.
Well, okay.
No, put it back.
No,
pressure,
it's
no
fine.
pressure.
It's fine. The show's better when we don't agree, anyways. It's all good.
It's not completely. I could really go here, but you know,
That's
I
where
love
mine is.
My Sally doll is making a deadly nightshade concoction. Yes, it is. I think
Yes.
she is. I would be having her up and down if I knew where the heck she was, and she's within 3 feet from me. I should have kept me awake because Grinch kept me awake.
As it should, because it's great.
So we
I
got
love that none of
Heather.
us have wands. So
Jason.
none of this is wands up or down.
None of us are even have wands. Who has none of us has a
No,
wand.
I
has
have a
a
stirring
wand.
straw. I'm in a hotel and I didn't bring my wand. So here's my stirring straw.
We couldn't even give the Nightmare Before Christmas enough respect to use actual wands tonight.
Yep.
That
Got
was
one
Here's a
wand,
hairbrush
one
and here's a pen and here's a stirring stick I grabbed out of the trash. Hello, Tim Burton. Please watch our show.
No,
Oh,
this
one
was
of
not
us.
grabbed out of the trash. This is fresh. And I'm in a hotel. Otherwise, I'd have my wand and it would be up. with
Okay,
a chill
let's look
wand.
at everybody in the chat room. We've got it's very mixed. I want a neutral up nightshade. You're right. One's up at the idea, one's down, up, down. Wow, there's not
All
there's
over.
not a middle ground here.
I'm really surprised. I mean, I thought that this would be everybody loves this movie. No one ever says anything bad about this movie, and it's been the exact
That's
opposite.
because everyone is
experience tonight.
afraid to come against Disney.
It's true.
No, I don't think that's true now.
Everyone's
You're
scared of
only
Big
saying
Mouse.
that because you're also afraid that Disney might sue you.
No.
Big Mouse coming to get us.
I trashed the Muppets, Wizard of Oz really well, so I'm good. I'm on a list.
You're on the list, Heather.
I'm
You're
on a list.
Okay, so what are we gonna watch? This was interesting and good. And what fine film are we gonna watch next?
Wait a minute, hold on. The only movie Patty has ever like even remotely hinted her wand down toward, and this was interesting and good.
I love you,
Patty.
movie. I meant us. I did
Oh,
not
okay.
mean the movie was
Sorry, I thought
interesting. I meant we were interesting.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, but it's
I
true.
Always
Patty is,
interesting.
I did
Patty
not
is
say
so
great.
nice. You know,
I
she'll watch a movie and it's like, it's clear they tried very, very hard.
Yeah.
Wands up.
And I only have one eye, you guys. I really have one eye.
Well, you know what? The good thing that I was saved from having to look at this for any longer. So
There you go.
Yeah.
What are we watching next week?
Something very similar. We're going to be watching Nosferatu, and that means the recent one and the old one if you would prefer to watch it. So you can watch any older version, the original from back silent, or both or all Nosferatu.
I
Okay.
would rather watch Yasferatu.
I did watch Yasferatu. Are you kidding me? That was I will save it all for then, but it's funny that I didn't know that this was the movie next week, but I just was scrolling back through my Facebook and I found a post that I made, and I'm not going to repeat the whole thing because I'll save it for next week, but it was a quote from Nathan after we went to see it, and he said he was talking about how Nosferatu was superior to Twilight, both in vampires because no one sparkled and in romance. So interesting hot take that I will share next week. I'm very excited about this.
Okay, good. So our main focus is the most recent one, right? And
Yes.
recent one, and then do our homework with the others. Okay. All right. Does anybody have anything coming up that they would like to talk about and share with everybody? Where can people go see you, talk to you, look at you, follow you? Courtney.
I am all over everywhere at the Themes, or Courtney Buckley on Facebook. You can find me there. I just did a podcast interview where I relived the trauma of Villisca again, with the Gals podcast. Well, now I feel bad because I might be saying that. So that is on YouTube and Facebook. I believe that you can check that out. Give me a second. Let me just double check the name of it. Yeah, Gals, Ghosts and Ladies. I was right. The Ghosts and Ladies podcast. I met her at the ghost hunt that I went to with Christy at Middleborough Town Hall recently. But I'm just going to throw out there that doing all that, gave me the bug again. So maybe some ghost hunting in our future.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it.
Yay, thank you. Jason.
I will be at the Occulture Fair, Occult URE, Occulture Fair in Las Vegas, Nevada on November 21st, doing a workshop and a ritual that I call the Gifts of the Witch Father. I'm very excited. It's always great to be in Vegas doing witchy things.
Beautiful. Thank you. Richard Leal.
I am really easy to find. I am the Gentleman Psychic. Where all good gentleman psychics are sold, usually on street corners. I'm here in New Orleans. You can find me everywhere. If you want to come to tea, I do seances, I do tea, I do tarot. You can find me also sometimes at the Vampire Apothecary. I am a University Magicus. I'm easy to find.
Thank you very much. And Heather.
I will be doing the class, an introduction to Wicca, or excuse me, to ancient French Wicca. That's coming up this Saturday in my local Atlanta. I'll be doing that in a local metaphysical store. And then the following weekend, I will be doing several different workshops, dolls, Wizard of Oz, etc. at Conjuration, which is a pop culture witchy conference. So it's not necessarily directly about witchcraft, but it's about witchcraft in pop culture. But there are some witches there, and they are witchcraft classes as well that happen alongside it. So it's really fun weekend. Conjuration, that's in Atlanta Metro. And I will be doing some readings, which I don't normally do publicly. I will be doing some readings there as well. So really excited about that. I also was interviewed for on NPR about Wicked and Weapons, funny enough. And so that I will be sharing when that actually is aired, coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. So I look forward to hearing all of my brilliant how that goes, and hopefully they'll give a shout out to our group, and we'll get more members of our coven in the future coming in and tuning into our wonderful podcast.
Yes, we want more coven members. I will be next week. If you are anywhere near Brainerd, Minnesota, which is a very historic town in the middle of nowhere in Minnesota, very haunted and historic, doing a mediumship gallery on the 15th. And then that next week, the 20th through the 23rd, I will be in the Dallas area doing this whole witchy 4-day weekend, doing workshops, seances, galleries, private sessions at Miracles of Joy. And then I'm going to be doing a haunted doll tea party at the Lizzie Borden house.
Oh my God.
So excited. Heather, you need to be coming. Haunted doll tea party. Bring your dolls. We got the ghosts. I'm so excited. That is December 3 and 4. And then I happened back over to Texas to do Ghosts of Christmas Past 3 in Ballinger, Texas, which is a ghost hunt and overnight with my partner Natalie in Paraflix. And you guys can come, intimate little ghost hunt in a really haunted old West kind of mean and gruff ghost kind of place. And then I'm doing a paranormal Christmas at the Sheldon Theater in Red Wing, Minnesota. So I've got a lot of Minnesota coming up and past. I don't know why. I don't even know where it is on the map. But I love the Borden House. I'm so excited. I have never been there. So you guys come on down. Heather, we got to take the show on the road. We've got to take our dolls. We've got to do this thing.
We do. And I am in Minnesota right now. It is a real state, and it is not 10 degrees here. It is 60 degrees here today. So this is a state, Patty, and you will be okay here.
I will be okay. That is good. Yeah, I just got back, just did a couple haunted doll things and book signings in New Orleans. It went well. So everybody go get your dolls. Go get your haunted dolls. Make a haunted doll. Do a puppet. And you guys, please like us, follow us, do all that stuff, both individually on our social media. This is all of us. And of course, as the Witches Movie Coven, we have a Witches Movie Coven page. On social media as well. I think Instagram and that. Follow Mystery Control. Get some of our fun merch and jewelry and goats and
sleep with me.
And sleep with Richard Leal. Warm and cuddly Richard Leal.
And maybe a little too soft these days.
Well, we're not going to go there. Okay. It is that time. We have one more thing to do. Is there anything we would do that's appropriate for the film?
No.
No, it's gotta
Cackle.
be cackling.
They never want to do anything but cackle. Fine. Fine. Oh,
This is cackling, cackling, cackling. This
Happy
is
birthday.
cackling.
okay, 1, 2, 3, go witches.
Ever since Patty Negriel's Dollcraft came out, people won't stop asking me for magic advice. It's exhausting being this fabulous and this haunted at the same time.
All right, folks, I've got poppet spells for love, protection, and abundance. Going once, going twice. Sold to the curious witch in the back.
Do you know how hard it is to keep up with all this magical demand? Thanks a lot, Patty.
But if you must ruin my life too, you can get a signed copy from pattynegri.com, your local bookstore, or a silly place called Amazon.
Just don't blame me when your dolls start feeling fabulous.
Ugh, I'm too enchanting for this.